And you see, it makes me emotional just talking about both the day and the song. They were able to express the mourning that everyone in the world who knew anything about the situation felt.
Hey, Skip Conover is a 73-year-old retired marine and business executive who studies the work of Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist known for concepts that BTS explored in Map of the Soul Persona and Map of the Soul 7. The persona is the mask we wear in public, and the shadow includes the parts of ourselves we try to hide, while the ego is the center of our consciousness.
Throughout the last 33 years, I've been in a kind of chaotic world that we all live in, and it's only been thanks to his psychology that has seen me through and helped me find my way through the chaos.
So how did you discover BTS?
Because of my long study in Dr. Jung's work, I was well aware of Mary Stein's book called Jung's Map of the Soul, An Introduction. And I realized that they'd done that album based on Mary Stein's book. They're actually showing the armies through music videos and so on what these ideas are about, what these psychological ideas are about. That incredibly impressed me, and they probably have done more for education than any educator in the last 50 years.
There's certainly that perception that, all BTS fans are young girls, and obviously the truth is more complicated than that. So have you ever experienced judgment yourself from others for having an appreciation for this group?
I think one reason that some people have encouraged you to interview me is because I've gone to bat for BTS a number of times, and especially for armies a couple of times, because there have been a number of people who've said things like, oh, this is all young girls. And I said, well, I'm a retired Marine and retired business executive, and oh, by the way, last year when I put this up, I was 72, now I'm 73. I'm a 73-year-old man. So what have you done, Sonny?
Great response. Great response.
People that talk back in that way are threatened, okay, because they don't understand it. They don't understand it because they're not mature enough to understand it. And so they think that they can diss BTS by making, flaccid comments like this. In psychology, Jung's point is that you can't know anything from a psychological point of view until you experience it. So if you take the BTS armies, if you ask them why they would never be anything but an army, they will say, because of the experience I've had with BTS. And so somebody that hasn't had that experience will say, well, this is an odd thing. But in actuality, when you actually have had the experience with these young men, then there's no question you're not going to go back. And there are several good examples of it, but one is Spring Day. They were able to establish the essence of what everyone in the world that knew anything about that particular day. And you see, it makes me emotional just talking about both the day and the song.
Oh, because it's believed to reference the South Korean ferry disaster in 2014, right?
They were able to express the mourning that everyone in the world who knew anything about the situation felt. When you ask me if I'm a BTS army for life, I say absolutely.
If you were, to one day get to meet BTS, would you have, what would you say to them if you could meet them?
Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. We need more of what they're doing to educate young people. Because, just think of it. In all your years of going to school, didn't you always just dread, and wasn't it drudgery to have to study for exams and work through all the coursework and all that stuff? Just imagine, here these guys are doing what they're doing, and they're causing people to say, oh, what are they reading? I have to know what that is, and I have to study that. I mean, what a phenomenal turn of events to be able to cause people to want to learn.